In this video, I'll be explaining how I draw ears to help you go from this to this, with the help of a reference image and to eventually end up with something like this. After setting up my reference image, I proceed to first work on the curvatures at the outer edge of the helix. As ears can come in all shapes and sizes, some appear to be more rounded while others can look more angular. Always look for the large C-shaped curve at the edge of the ear, followed by the earlobes, before drawing the other forms of the ear. In order to make drawing the inner sections of the ear easier, we can start by studying the anatomy of our own ears. The parts of the ear consist of the helix, the antihelix, the entrance to the ear canal, the earlobe, and the triangular part known as the tragus. The ears are attached onto the head just behind the jawbone. It follows the natural slant of that bone, which makes it appear slightly angled. I usually break down the parts of the ear into three simple shapes: the whole shape of the ear, the fleshy bulge that looks like the letter Y, which makes up the antihelix, along with the tragus, and the negative spaces of the concaved regions of the rest of the ear. When drawing the ear from the back view, I start with the form that looks like a cup, also known as the concha, and draw towards the helix. Our ears are shaped like cones that allow us to pick up sounds from our surroundings. You can think of the other parts of the ear like they are growing out from these cones when drawing. The concave and convex regions of the ears can seem confusing at first, but I find that by applying form lines, you can better understand the volumes of these shapes. I now proceed to apply the information by blocking in the inner parts of the ear. If you are looking to achieve a one-for-one reproduction of your anatomy drawing, one way to do that is to use a grid around your reference image and to plot points along the grid lines in order to be able to reproduce what you see with accuracy. The grid lines can also help in gauging for the negative shapes when you are plotting your lines. This method is quite commonly used in the fine arts world when learning to draw. Now let us look at how to place the ears when drawing them on the face. The ears are located around the midsection of the head. The top of the ear is where the eyebrow line is, and the bottom of the ear is usually where the nose line is. From the side view of the head, the ears are located just behind the jawbone. When the head tilts upwards, the ears will move downwards in the opposite direction. Likewise, when the head is looking down, the ears will naturally move upwards. This information is essential to locating the angle or to emphasize the tilt of the head when you're drawing portraits. Also, when it comes to drawing portraits, it is best to simplify the ear, as having too much detail in that area can take away attention from the face of your drawing. You will still be able to get away with likeness as long as the C-shaped edge of the ear is accurate, despite simplifying the details of the rest of the ear. At this stage, I lower the opacity of my rough sketch to help me correct the proportional issues as I work towards the finish. This is where I try to be more sensitive to the angles of the ears while using the initial sketch as a gauge to build on top of. As I am drawing with digital mediums, I like to use the warp tool to my advantage as it helps me to push the curves of the drawing. This is the digital method of getting better accuracy without using the grid method as explained earlier, as I am only aiming for about 90% accuracy in this case. For the best results, I recommend spending as much time as you need on this stage to make enough edits for you to confidently move on to the refinement stage. So this way, you can focus more on the line work when you're refining the drawing and not be bogged down by having to make adjustments while you refine the drawing at the same time. As studying how flexible the forms of the ears can be, you are able to show more personalities for your character designs. If you do not have any accessories on your ears, always do some research beforehand to broaden up your visual library, as having a better understanding of the human ear can greatly help you when you are experimenting with different designs of your ears, as they are usually made up with the same parts of our human ears but with slightly different shapes and proportions. Please share in the comment section down below your favorite type of ears to draw on your OCs. Now that I have refined the drawing with some movie magic, I proceed to add some shading to give the drawing some values. I shade on a layer below so that I can erase the unwanted areas while not affecting the layer of the refined drawing. Instead of having to squint your eyes, you can shrink the canvas digitally to better judge your values. My goal is to have just enough shading to be able to show some simple forms and believability. If you have enjoyed this video, then make sure to check out the next one. I'll see you guys there, and until then, happy drawing.